many mussels have you found so far? They're mussel-sniffing dogs.
And that's crazy because we just got a new dog. Once we do that, we're essentially putting on the green tag, so you can get a same-day green tag and go straight on the lake once you're done with that.
Hi everybody, this is Sally Mello at Mello Marine. We're doing boats and goats. As you see, we have our great goat picture behind us representing. We're big fans of boats and goats. So next to me is Nico Gambetta.
My name is Nico. I'm kind of heading this whole decontamination service we're offering here at Mello Marine. And then we have Aidan over here.
I'm Aidan. I'm helping Nico out with some of the decontamination stuff here at Mello Marine. And we've kind of created a sister company to Mello called Folsom Lake Decon. Really kind of just focusing on all the decontaminations and inspection process that's coming with all the fun golden mussels stuff.
So let's talk about it. So today our hot topic, and everybody wants to talk about it, is what's going on with Folsom Lake and what the next move is. And just kind of as a background for everybody, we've been working tirelessly to try and get Folsom Lake on board with doing the decontamination so we can get back on the water. And just a kind of a history of what's been going on. In October, the golden mussel was, and again, this is called a golden mussel. We had a quagga mussel and we have the zebra mussel. And now we have this brand new golden mussel, which is, bigger and stronger and has more resilience and fights harder to grow. So this golden mussel was found in Stockton, and there was a state of emergency declared, and so that we could move forward, or the state could move forward and take control of this golden mussel. And it's done great damage throughout different places in the world, and it is a threat. And so they're concerned with boats transporting this golden mussel from a body of water and bringing it to a new body of water. And that's what the decontaminations and the inspections are all about. We want to keep the mussel from getting into Folsom Lake. It is not in Folsom Lake right now that we know of. They are testing, but it is not there right now. But they don't want it there, and they want to do whatever it takes to try and keep the mussel from being there, because we are a hydroelectric lake. So again, found out in October, declared a state of emergency. In January, Folsom Lake came over and talked to us about what the plan was going to be for Folsom Lake, because there was no plan, and Berryessa had put a plan in place, and some of the other lakes had shut down and started to do decontaminations to prevent this golden mussel, prevent the transport of the golden mussel. And then from there, in January when they talked to us, I started to get really concerned, because this could be catastrophic for a boat business. As you know, we try and sell boats, and if we can't go to a lake, it restricts us and basically puts a barrier around wherever we want to go. And most of the lakes at this point have some kind of quarantine or decontamination that you have to do to enter the lake, which I get, but we need to have some way of doing the decontaminations, and we're not there yet. So in January, these guys started to say, put me in, coach. I'm going to help you out with this cause. I'm going to learn everything I can learn about it. We're going to get on board and start learning, but also talking to the powers that be that are dealing with this decontamination issue. And so from there, Nico got certified and learned from the best of the best. And then Aidan got on board and said, put me in, coach. I'm ready for the game. And so both of them got certified, and it's called level 1 and level 2. It's a WID system is what we're working off of. And we went out and bought the equipment to do the decontaminations, because we were again approached by Folsom Lake saying, hey, we've decided to shut down. This is what's going to happen. And we bought the equipment. So that's kind of getting you up to speed. And now we're going to kind of go over and let's talk about what's been going on and what's the difference between a red tag and a green tag.
So a red tag essentially is a seal that we put on your boat that attaches from your trailer to your boat, and it basically means that it'll prove that your boat won't touch water for at least 30 days. And the reason for that is because the veligers, maybe not the physical muscles, but the veligers, so essentially the baby muscles, can survive in standing water for up to 30 days. And so if there, God forbid, there is those muscles in your boat, they will not survive past 30 days. And that seal's kind of what's proven that you have done your full 30 days. And so once we put on your seal, on your receipt that you will be given, it'll say that the day that you get the seal on your boat, it'll have a date, and then that's what the rangers will look at after your 30 days is up. And then they'll cut it off and you'll be good to go on the water. And then when you get back off the water, that's when they'll give you a green tag. And that's the green tag is kind of what's constricting you to Folsom Lake. A green tag can also mean that your boat goes through a hot water decontamination. And for a decontamination, it's basically we're running 120 degree to 140 degree water, hot water through your boat. And we're going to spray down your entire hull, all the interior compartments of your boat, and then also we're going to run hot water through your bilge, and then any ballast tanks you have, and then obviously your engine. Basically anywhere on your boat that can have water or touches water when you're on the lake or any body of water. And so that hot water will instantaneously kill those muscles. So that's why once we do that, we're essentially putting on the green tag, so you can get a same-day green tag and go straight on the lake once you're done with that. So those are kind of your two options.
So, Nico, we put a whole bunch of boats through this red tag system. And just for those folks out there who haven't gotten the red tag yet, these guys send me an email or text message saying your boat is now certified on this date with this PIN number, and the PIN number matches what's on the boat. And it's attached to the boat, and it's attached to the trailer. So if you were to separate the two, the boat and the trailer, the lanyard, the wire breaks, and you can't get it back together. It's not designed to go back together. You can't fake the system. You can't break the system. But I get this email every time a decontamination, an inspection happens. They send me this. I'm supposed to screenshot it. And then as soon as I screenshot it, now this is my evidence when I take my boat to the water. This is my evidence.
And they'll ask for that after your 30-day quarantine is what that receipt. That's what they'll need to see. And so that just, like she was saying, just matches up to each of those red tags have a unique serial code, and then that with that serial code is you could see the CF number on the boat and the trailer plate, and so that just verifies, just like a cross-reference, that nothing was really messed with and that it's legit.
And then another common misconception or questions we get asked is, what if someone steals my red tag from the boat? And yes, someone could potentially cut your red tag off your boat if they wanted to be really mean, but basically that red serial number specifically matches your CF number, so no one can use it for their own boat. That red tag that we give you is specific to your boat and only your boat, because it matches your CF number and your trailer plate.
It can't be reattached either. If you cut it off or break it, it's done. It's a one and done thing. When you clip it into the wire, it breaks something in the clip where you can't undo it or reuse it. So it's a one use.
So I know everyone's really confused about this whole thing. So when I get a red tag and I've waited 30 days and now I want to go to the water, I'm going to Folsom Lake. I've been told right now that I can go to Folsom Lake in a month. I can go to Folsom Lake and put my boat in the water. Right now it's Browns Ravine and Granite Bay. And when I show up, I have to have this screenshot, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then somebody's going to greet me at Folsom Lake.
Yes. And they haven't specifically said where they're going to do it at Folsom Lake, but the state parks will let people know as soon as they've figured out where they're going to meet people.
So then when I exit the lake, now I'll get a new tag. So I'm going to drop it in and they're going to cut the red tag off and they're going to let me enter the lake. And at the end of the day, when I decide to go home at the end of the day and put my boat back on the trailer, they're going to give me a green tag.
Yes.
Yep.
They'll put you a green tag.
So after 30 days, my red tag, when after the first time I launch, will turn to a green tag, and I can go to Folsom anytime I want.
You can, as long as you're going to Folsom or Clementine, you can keep returning back to the lake with that green tag, and you won't have to go through the whole red tag process, assuming that you're only staying at Folsom or Clementine.
Okay, so what happens if I've got a houseboat trip planned to Shasta this year, and I want to take my new $200,000 boat to Shasta for a week? What happens when I get back?
So we're going to be doing the decontaminations here, and we'll have a calendar out 4 or 5 months. So if you know that you have a trip in Shasta, up in Shasta in August, then right when we open our decontamination appointments, you could just book that for right when you come back in August, and then you don't have to worry about anything. You could do it the same day you get back from Shasta, and you get a decontamination. You get your boat decontaminated, get an automatic green tag, then you're ready to go back in Folsom Lake, and there's no waiting period or anything. So that's the best way to do it. And
or you can kind of just do another 30-day quarantine if you know you're not going to go boating again. But we understand that people are going to want to bring their boats back and get back on the water as soon as possible. So yeah, you can either do another 30-day quarantine and get that red tag, or you can come to us and schedule a decontamination in advance.
So what's different about I could say us, but what's different about you guys at Mellow Marine than maybe a guy at a storage place or anywhere else? I mean, not to throw anybody else under the bus, but what's different about Mellow Marine? I mean, one of the things we know is location, right? I mean, we're 5 minutes from the lake.
Yeah, from the furthest launch ramp too. I mean, we got pretty much all of them right here. So definitely location is super key with us. And then
also I'll go ahead and say we're going to be running 2 systems simultaneously, and we've already proven to have a good appointment schedule, and we've been able to keep people here for the inspections. No one waited longer than 10 minutes. So we have good scheduling. Our location is only 5-10 minutes from the furthest ramp, and then also we're a boating business. Mellow Marine's been in the business 30 years at least, so we know everything about boats, and we're going to make sure we take really good care of your guys' boats. And also, it's a family business. Yeah.
So what do you think about the people saying that this is this is another scare and another thing that people are that the government's throwing barriers in front of them and they're going to boycott Folsom Lake?
Well, I think I'm one of the first people to kind of call that kind of stuff, and just within the last couple of months about learning about these mussels and kind of some of the stuff that they could do, I kind of realized that this is not one of those things. I mean, there was an instance that you told me about, but in Brazil where they got in there and they completely destroyed
the hydroelectric
dam down there, and it cost them billions of dollars. And if that were to happen in Folsom Lake, they would just close the whole thing down. And then that dam is worth billions of dollars, and the company that runs it, they would rather save their dam than have recreational boating.
Yeah.
So it is kind of something that needs to be kind of taken seriously and not really mess around with it, or there's more serious consequences to it, I think, for sure. So
that is a huge thing we're getting, is people are calling it just another California scam, which California is known for that, but you can map these golden mussels and see the progress they've been moving. They're moving quick, and they're definitely, Folsom Lake is a great place for them to thrive on a number of reasons. Just water temperature, calcium levels, and it's just so big, and we do have that dam. I mean, you can track. There's a website where you can track the golden mussels and see how fast they've been spreading. And the biggest thing is we're just trying to help. Our biggest thing is we don't want the lake to close. It's already been closed for 30 days, and we're doing everything in our power to make sure we do solid, good decontaminations. And if you bring your boat to us, we can actually 100% confirm that your boat will be decontaminated and there will not be a single mussel entering the lake.
And then I think another thing too that we want to do is just like alleviate some of the pressure from the state parks, because right now, like if we weren't doing the tag, we've done probably almost 900 of those red tags in the last 2 weeks. That has alleviated so much pressure, and that's why the lines there are a lot smaller. Like if we didn't do those 900 tags or whatever, the lines would probably still be huge. And then all summer, if your only option was to wait 30 days because you went into another body of water, then you're missing out on like a third of your summer is just gone because you got to put your boat in quarantine again. So we just kind of wanted to have another option so people don't have to, waste their summer and so.
And that's one of the big things we're also working on now is we've been trying effortlessly the past few weeks to be able to start decontaminations before the lake opens up, just because we know people specifically weren't getting red tags just because they knew that there would be a decontamination station open, and we understand that people are frustrated about that, but we're trying everything in our power to work with the state to be able to get these decontamination station up and moving before the 14th.
Well, talking about the decontamination stations, one of the things that people don't understand is this equipment is very expensive equipment. We spent a lot of money to really bring it on board and to buy the certified equipment that, we're not just pumping hot water through your bilge, but this is certified equipment that is certified through the WID, so it's what everybody is using, the kind of the gold standard of Lake Tahoe. But one of the kind of things that I wanted to share too that these guys didn't kind of piece in is, we have 30 years of experience, but kind of the 30 years of experience isn't just 30 years of experience with all the different boats, but 30 years of experience of dealing with different ballast systems and fishing boats and pontoon boats, and all of my techs understand how these all work, and really having the foundation and the background of boating really helps us be better equipped to take care of these boats faster, because we understand the complexities of these boats nowadays. I mean, they're you look in an engine compartment and you're like, is that the engine? I mean, you used to, when it was a two-stroke engine or something that was carbureted, you could look at it and go, yeah, that's an engine, and this is how the fuel runs through it. And now you look at it and you're, everything's electronic, and what do we do, and how do the systems work? And so that makes us better equipped to kind of understand that. But also, we also have the ability to understand how the water is going to run through the systems and how we can recycle the water and decontaminate it even greater as it moves through. So, boats, if there's a little oil in there, it's called a fuel water separator. So we're going to decontaminate any oil or fuels that might wash through. And also on the back end of the recycled water, we're also doing a UV, and our plan is to do a UV. So whatever goes through that UV will also get killed. So again, it's not just simply throw a mat down and wash your boat down with hot water. There's these complex systems that we're installing so that as you drive through, your boat will be handled the way that your boat's supposed to be handled. We understand what temperatures boats need to run at, and to try and prevent any damage to a boat as we're doing the decontamination. So I think kind of the history and being in the boat business for so long kind of better equips us not only where we're located and the ease of use, but that we're prepared to understand the complexities of all these systems. So
Well, and I think another huge benefit that we have that a lot of people aren't going to have is where we're doing the decontaminations. We're literally a stone throw away from, 5 of the smartest people with boats that I've ever met. So it's like pretty, if there's ever something that we run into that we are unsure of, there's at least literally it's 50 yards away from where we're going to be doing the decontaminations. It's the service department, so it's nice to have those guys kind of just on call if anything were to happen or if we had any questions. So I think that's a huge benefit that a lot of people aren't going to have that we're probably going to start to see as more of these decontamination sites start to pop up. So
Another caveat to what Sally was saying is me and Aidan actually went up to Tahoe, and the TRPA, who runs the decontamination stations for Tahoe, I've been the gold standard for the last 15 years, and we got to spend time and talk with these inspectors and the decontaminators, and we really narrowed down on how the best methods of going about this and the most efficient way. Got to see all the different tools they have, because ultimately we want to mimic and run our operations the same way they do.
Better.
If not better. But also we went to Berryessa and kind of saw how they were doing it. So it's not like we're making something brand new. We're mimicking these people that have been around for a while, and we want to follow their gold standard that they're doing.
Just a kind of off topic, just a little bit. People have heard that there are decontamination dogs out there that are mussel sniffing dogs.
And that's crazy because we just got a new dog.
I know, we got to train our brand new puppy. Yeah, his name is Cooper, the brand new puppy. Hopefully we'll train. We got to train him to sniff out mussels. But yes, there are. Oh my God, there are these dogs that can. They bring them to fishing tournaments and everything that are mussel sniffing dogs. So if your boat has a mussel in it, they can smell the mussel.
The Tahoe guys were saying that they're like extremely accurate too. Like
they said they were really good.
If they like sign on it, like they know where in the boat that they are. So I don't know. Maybe mussel sniffing dog coming to Folsom Lake Decon soon, potentially.
Yeah.
That would be cool. How do you do that? We'll have to train the dog, the new puppy.
6 months of training.
6 months of training.
Tahoe also said they showed us this cool thing. It was like a brand new pipe and then a pipe that was fully contaminated with mussels.
Oh, yeah.
And they were saying they have to have a permit just to even have that.
Oh,
just because it's technically illegal.
Yeah.
And that is another thing. If we do come across a boat on our property that is decontaminated with mussels, we are going to have to get police involved, just because it will be illegal for it to transport it anywhere else. Just because the state of California has called the golden mussel. What is it?
State of emergency.
A state of emergency. Yeah.
So in the 900, yesterday or the day before we were on the news, we've done almost after yesterday we almost did 800 tagging. I'm sure before the 2 weeks is up, we'll do over 1,000 taggings. How many mussels have you found so far? And I know I've watched y'all look in every one of those boats and look underneath and look around. And is everybody been pretty good about opening up hatches and looking inside?
Yeah.
And how many mussels have you found?
We have found a total of 0 mussels.
0 mussels.
Zero
Everybody? 0 mussels.
Zero
But
mussels.
that's our goal. Let's keep it that way. We don't want any mussels. We'll get this mussel sniffing dog going.
If you do have
It might
mussels,
take
we
6
will
months,
find them.
but
We will find those
we'll
mussels.
find the mussels.
Because we don't want them in our
We're
lake.
not talking about these mussels. Not those. We're talking about the other ones.
Yeah.
They're little, tiny, little, silly, 2-inch, horrible beings that take over the world. You thought roaches were bad. These mussels are bad. Anyway. How do you think we should finish our day? What's some advice we should dish out there to the world about this whole catastrophe?
Oh, wait, I want to bring up one more thing. A lot of people are also asking, if we're going to get integrated with other lakes and how soon, because, I mean, it is a big problem. We understand that people don't just keep their boat at one lake. So actively, as of now, Folsom is only taking Folsom tags, Folsom and Clementine. However, we are actively calling other lakes daily, trying to work out some sort of system. And the reason why it's not in store yet is, one, it's brand new, and two, if we're going to be doing decontaminations here, and we need to know that another lake is also upholding the standard and doing a good job with these decontaminations, because if they're not, then they could potentially bring mussels into our lake if they're saying one thing but not doing the other. So it needs there. I think the state is working towards that, and we're hoping in the next few months that other lakes will start to cross-reference these tags. But as of now, Folsom's only accepting Folsom tags. But we are working on it because we do understand that it is frustrating.
So, yeah, and I guess I don't know if we've talked about it. We might have mentioned it earlier, but we are working with legislation. We are working with the assemblyman. We have talked to Hoover and sat down with him. He does understand, and so do the other assemblymen in the area, understand Folsom Lake's, kind of the boaters' plight, and bringing it to the attention of the government, so that we can kind of get back on the water. I mean, there are millions of boaters, and it's kind of crazy. There are 12 million boaters in the United States, and there are 4 million, according to records, like registered boaters. There are 4 million boaters in California. I mean, we're almost half of what's in the whole United States. And if this mussel thing is gonna be here, they have to give us permission at some point to be able to do these contaminations, to get back on the water. I've said it before, I sell fun for a living. I really do. I sell fun for a living, and it's about going out and having a relationship with your family and having fun with your friends, and going out there and enjoying life, and to have that cut off from us right now is scary and sad, and we want to make new normal much easier for everybody. So again, we have red tags, 30 days, green tags hopefully are coming soon, and when you get a green tag, you can go right to the lake. If you have a red tag, it's a 30-day quarantine, and if you have a little screenshot receipt that you show them when you get to the water, and they say you're good to go boating for the day, and we'll get you a new tag. So I guess signing out till next time. We promise to talk about cooler things next time.
Yep.
Yes.
See you guys later.
Peace.